Okay, my friends, I'm going to take some of your phone calls, run over some of the news we haven't covered, recap some of the most important top stories. And I know this information is hard to believe that we cover here. I got a Texas Monthly reporter out there, good old Nate. He wrote a great story about Tulia, Texas, and the police and informants planting drugs on people to put them in prison. But he heard Bob Chapman talk about the elite believing they can extend their lifespans. And he said, do you ever stop people when they're saying something that's outlandish? That's not outlandish. That's in my film, Endgame Blueprint for Global Enslavement. Ray Kurzweil, Bill Joy, countless others, they believe this is happening. They believe that they need to get rid of the general population, reduce the world's numbers so that the select few can have access to this. Now, whether it's real or whether they're going to be able to develop it, that remains to be seen. But they've already doubled the lifespans of rats by special diets. They've doubled the lifespans of different worms with special diets, and that's only one area. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know if that's real. I mean, I know the studies are real, but I don't know if they can do this with humans. Studies show it's similar effects with humans. A lot of it's genetic. They have all these new genetic treatments, nanotech. But, you know, when I sit here and talk about China calling for a global one-child policy, I have the China Daily, the big official government newspaper here, population control called key. And the government official, a member of the Chinese government delegation, called for a global one-child policy. Here's another one. The Real Inconvenient Truth, the National Post of Canada. I mean, just Google one-child policy and click it. And yesterday I did it and several hundred new articles came up. Not Google Web, Google News, only the last 7 days. In fact, let's do it right now for the news reporter. Let's go to Google right now. And let's together, because this is real. This is being proposed right now in Copenhagen. Let's go to the search engine and type in one-child policy. One-child policy. There it is on TV screen for PrisonPlanet.tv viewers. And let's click a news search. And we put it on the screen over here so I can see it. Thank you. I can try to read it from over there. How many articles does it say in the last 7 days? It'll be at the bottom of the top block. It says, how many other news? See the green link right there on the first block? How many other news stories does that say? All 35. And if you count up the other blocks, it was several hundred yesterday. But, I mean, just read the top link right there. Read the top link. Beijing tells world to fight climate change through one-child policy. And the United Nations has proposed this. The White House science czar, John P. Holdren, has proposed this, and drugging your water supply to sterilize you, and creating a global earth religion to enforce it. Okay? Now, let me read to you from the National Post. The Real Inconvenient Truth. The whole world needs to adopt China's one-child policy. A planetary law such as China's one-child policy is the only way to reverse the global birth rate currently. Okay? Now, what did Dr. Eric Pianka at UT call for? He said a Chinese global police state, modeled after the Chinese, with forced abortion, all of it. This is what is in the UN documents. This is what is being set up right now. Now, what else is in the documents? What else is going on with all of this? We have the Copenhagen Climate Summit in disarray after Danish text leak. And this is from the London Guardian. And you click the first link and you can read the secret treaty, an addendum to the public treaty that they plan to try to pass next week. This is confirmed. And it says the UN will have no power, the IMF and World Bank will run it, and levy global taxes on everyone on the planet. And Maurice Strong, the head of the UN Environment Initiative, states we must destroy the United States and global industrial capacity to force population reduction. Now, let me read to you what people, again, I spent 30 minutes or so this morning just reading the comments in the National Post article, and I had to stop. There were hundreds. But in 30 minutes of reading, speed reading, I did not find one comment agreeing with the author of this article. But they don't care. They're still going to try to implement it. Let me read to you some of the comments that I printed off from this. Wow. This has been tried before. Stalin was the master of the trick, starve the people, and they will do whatever we want. That's from Jaybird. There's Boza Boy, or Bonza Boy. This is a tough measure to sell because we've got used to levels of consumption that is not going to be easy to move away from. Government can extort, influence, and educate, but it's going to take change from consumers, retailers, and producers. Poor, in instance, means I have a good quality of life, but means I must constantly work to pay bills, and I have little chance of changing my lifestyle considerably without it costing me. I can afford. Most people in developed countries live like this. Here's another comment. You know, what happened this morning is when I was reading this, there were hundreds of comments, and now that they printed it when I got to the office, and there's actually a few here supporting it now. Oh, because it's saying this comment's been removed by moderator. See, what happened is I was at my, here's a little conspiracy right here. I was at my house reading comment after comment, everyone saying, you're a Nazi, you want Malthusian eugenics, and now they're just removing it all because we printed this once I got to the office. Isn't that amazing? I said, print those off so I can read them, and now they're removed by the moderator. Says, does the mobile organ bank come with a laugh track? Because that's what they have in China. They have mobile execution vans. Oh, the reporter won't believe that. Google mobile execution vans in China. I want to show him those. Does the mobile organ bank come with a track, a laugh track? I'll check back later. I'm just on my way to pick up a few steaks and a half gallon of milk for the supper and maybe a block of nice cheddar cheese. This article made me hungry. And see, that's because it's all over the news now that we shouldn't be able to eat meat and cheese. It has a big carbon footprint because the flatulence of cows is going to kill the universe. I'm a vegetarian. These bloody lunatic AGWs are making me think about taking up meat eating after 20 years of abstinence. And again, more moderator removed. The comments I was reading have been removed. Lies, lies, and man-made climate change. The statist left who would steal our liberties and hysterically with his nonsense. How can anyone believe them anymore? Their lies would not make good science fiction. Would even make good science fiction. Kill all our pets because they eat, breathe, and poop. Actually, they're calling for taxes on all dogs. Did you find the mobile execution vans? So I'm gonna show him Times of London, Associated Press. Oh, that's USA Today. China makes ultimate punishment mobile. Continuing. Staples are over this. Let me pull it off so I can read it. Others say we should look to population control. A few suggest wars of genocide. Many others would prefer to pretend that numbers do not mean anything and we should just carry on. Tim Lang isn't the first to suggest we should tighten our belts. My priority this year is to secure some land so I can grow my own veggies. Oh, they're trying to restrict that under these laws. I already have seed, so there's somebody that likes it. And Henry Kissinger calls for wars, stage wars and famine, and State Department Memorandum 200. And you can go through these comments. When I read this this morning, there wasn't one comment in support. Now there are a few here, and moderators removed the people as fast as they can. This is unbelievable. Chinese-style one-child policy. So we have gone from saying the Chinese are bad with forced abortion and infanticide and imprisoning people that have more than one child to, oh, yes, we've got to have it in China that owns the majority of our debt. They're saying that we have to have one-child policies in the West. And, of course, inside of the Copenhagen Global Government Treaty, they say that the third world has to make right at double the cuts the West does when they're right at subsistence level because the evil humans are exhaling carbon dioxide. 15+ million people starved to death, an additional 10 million starved to death in 2008 because of ethanol, 1/3 of U.S., Brazilian, and other food production being taken out to grow corn and other things that are turned into ethanol for cars. Just absolute bull.